Hey, YouTube. Let me make a few comments about this BRIAN McKNIGHT situation. I wasn't familiar with BRIAN McKNIGHT. I've heard that name, so I assume that he's a good singer. But people have been talking for the last few days about this video, this post that initially his sons made. Apparently, he has two sons. One is 27 and one is 30 years old, right? They're having a problem when they're calling it abandonment because their father has apparently been paying their bills up until now. Now, for a 30-year-old man, I mean, when was he expecting to be on his own? I don't understand that part. Anyway, let me slow down. So, son post, this internet can be, it's changed the whole way the world works. Because ordinarily, children will say things about their parents all the time when they're mad at their parents, particularly teenagers. They will say things. But when you can go and blast it over to, millions of people at the same time, then it becomes a whole total different issue. And as far as we know, these guys are not mad at each other all the time. It seems like BRIAN McKNIGHT gave these boys everything they wanted, everything they needed for all the time all the time that he was married to their mother, but also up until their adult life. From what he said in his video, it seems like a very sincere video. This man just laying out the facts. From what he said, he has spoiled these kids rotten. I suspect maybe because he wasn't there, the parents have split up, but he never missed his child support. So he always take care of them in a financial way. But maybe he wasn't there a lot in a physical way because he's an entertainer and they are always on the road. Those people are always on the road. Now, his boys, as far as I know, are singers as well. But maybe he's just not giving them the kind of attention that they feel like they need. And so they want to get paid. He's been paying their bills. He told them, listen, at around, I think one was 22, one was 25. He told them, I'm going to support you guys in your own, you got to move out. I'm going to support you guys in your own place for 2 years. He went and got them an apartment and paid for it for 2 years, gave them 2 years notice. This is going to be off at some point. And they chose apparently to just party for those 2 years. Perhaps they were hoping that they could make a music career work. But basically, they've been coddled until they're 30 years old. One of them is 30 years old, one is 27 years old. My situation was totally different, and don't pretend I'm the only one. I was raised by a single mother, and sometimes in my mind I criticize my mother for how rough she seemed to be to me when I was coming up. But at 19 years old, I'm telling you, I could not wait to be on my own. My mother used to cuss me out so bad, and in every cuss out, you're getting out. Get out. My point is there was never any desire to stay home until I'm 30 years old. Or to stay home until I'm 25 years old. I was always chomping at the bit to go. We didn't have a lot of money, so I was not spoiled like these boys. But the only reason I'm even talking about this story is because on Charlemagne, Donkey of the Day, they had this other story. This dude, I guess he's some kind of Indian heritage, but he appears to be a black person. Anyway, this boy wanted a Jaguar for his birthday, right? And the parents went out and bought him a brand new BMW. A BMW now. There's not even that much difference anymore. I mean, a Jaguar and a BMW is not all that much difference. They're both extreme luxury vehicles, right? This brat went and pushed this damn car into, I think he's 22, pushed the car into the water. Now, the parents are trying to come up with a cover story so he won't go to jail. They're not pressing charges. And they're saying he's got mental problem. Yes, you do have a mental problem. If I go out and pay $60,000, $70,000 for a brand new car for a 22-year-old boy, and he pushes it in the water. Yes, he is sick, but I don't think this is about to end. The fact that he would expect more, than a BMW, that tells me that house is hell. Trying to keep this person pleased. Anyway, so I think your stories are tied. These are all spoiled people. You people, y'all are having white people problems now. When I was young, we didn't have these kind of problems, these kind of issues. You're lucky to get a bicycle, honey, at 22. Anyway, back to the story of Mr. McKnight. Now, something I found disturbing about this story, because one of these boys are just very ungrateful people, apparently. Or they just seem ungrateful. I mean, he seems like a rational man. We don't know who anybody is until we live with him, of course. But he seems like a rational, nice man, and he's done a lot for them considering their ages, right? But one thing I found disturbing is they said, one of them, I guess the older one, said that his father was more valuable to him dead than alive. You don't say no shit like that. I don't give a damn how mad you are. I don't give a damn how mad you are. The thought that you are, that is a threat usually, right? In all of the murder mysteries, that's what they say right before they kill their parents. These people feel so entitled that they have that little respect for their father to say something like that. It's basically, it's a threat. It's saying, I could kill you. So that ain't funny to me. These boys, you listening? You're brats. You are brats. You've gotten way too much. The lesson is, don't be giving your kids all this shit. Now, I'm not a father, praise the Lord, because I don't want to go to prison forever. It's got to be pretty painful for your children to treat you that way or to think that way of you because you won't continue to support them at 30 years old. Now, we don't know if there's other issues. Maybe these people feel like their father can make them stars or something like that. It could be a show business kind of element there. They don't feel supported in that way. We don't know what's going on in the family. But at some point, you got to be a man. You had 2 years that's telling you got to generate some income. So when he stops paying the rent, you can keep it going. He said he even got the boys jobs. Decent jobs. They didn't want to do it because they had to pass this drug test and they don't want to stop smoking weed. Brian, don't have to be your children's friend. They feel like that's the explanation they can give their father, that I don't want to stop smoking weed, and he ain't got no judgment about it. Yes, I would have judgment about it. It's irresponsible. If they're going to learn how to be responsible, it can't include, I don't want to get a job because I don't want to get drug tested, so I keep smoking weed. That is not an acceptable excuse. Anyway, I thought I'd drop in here and give my 2 pennies. I'm not a father, and I did not have a father, so I'm really not the one person to speak on it. I can just speak on what I feel like is right and what is wrong. Right? This is the problem with social media. We have no idea what the situation is with these people, what their relationships are, the kind of problems they had. They said one of the boys broke into the house and put X's on the eyes of the wedding pictures, which I guess is saying that they didn't approve of the second marriage. These are dangerous people. I told y'all, y'all know I watch those damn true life dramas all the time. White folks have been doing this for years about money. So let's hope this man can get his family together and get them off of his back. And Brian McKnight, let me say this to you. Don't put those children on your insurance policies. I'm just saying, do not sign shit with them boys. No insurance. Make sure that if you die, nothing happened. They won't get shit. Keep yourself safe. Them boys is having some real issues.